That's not my voice, by the way.
Hello, hello.
Hi, Cesar. There he is.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
Hi, Cesar.
Hi, Leslie. Did you see your picture with Jimmy?
I did not.
Oh, he posted it.
Oh, did he really? I'm not on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Oh, okay. Well, it's you and him.
Cool.
And he says, Leslie Jordan Mayer at San Juan Batista.
Look at me hobnobbing with the congressman.
Hey, Rich.
Oh,
Okay. Let me do a quick mic check. Can you guys hear me? I'm up in the sticks. I'm not sure if my
I can hear you, Scott.
yes,
oh, good.
loud and clear.
Okay, good.
You need some light on your face, but other than that,
I
all
got
we see is a
that.
silhouette.
That's okay. It'll save people the grief.
Beautiful up there.
Oh yeah, it's nice. It's hot. It was 104 just a little while ago.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's gross.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Nice job digging up the archives, Don.
Trish helped me with that. Was that cool?
That's awesome. Super, super awesome.
I just assumed it was 2012. Scott wanted to know that. Scott wanted to know the origin of the law that prohibited fireworks. And I'll bet you it had to do with horses.
That.
You know about is the vets, the veterans. You know, they still hear that stuff and, they go off. You know? Hi, John.
Hello.
Hi, John.
Hello.
Wow, Lisa got a nice hello.
Uh-oh, I just lost volume.
Can you hear me?
Oh, there we go.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Hey, Trish.
Hi there.
Super chatty.
Hello to level one, level one.
Good evening.
I'm still trying to figure this out.
Aren't we all?
Hi, Deb.
Hi, Deb.
Hello. I guess I'm all on. So is it hot over there?
Yeah. It was 104 a little while ago.
Wow. It's like 54 at my house.
We're running about 67 on Highway 68. 68 on 68.
Nice. My favorite number.
Hi, Brian.
Hi, Leslie.
Okay. Do we have everybody?
Good, Mary.
We're still waiting on Councilmember Edge. I just texted her. So let's get this party started. I'd like to start the special city council meeting for the city of San Juan Bautista, Tuesday, June 29th at 6 p.m. Vice Mayor Flores, will you start us off in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance
To the
to the flag of the United States of
United States
America,
of America,
and the republic for which it stands, one nation,
it's one nation, under God,
indivisible,
indivisible.
with liberty and justice for all. He was muted.
Thank you very much. May I have a roll call, please?
Yes, Councilmember Freeman,
Here.
Councilmember Friels,
Here.
Councilmember Edge is not present, Vice Mayor Flores,
Can you please unmute yourself?
Present.
and Mayor Jordan.
Here.
We have a quorum, thank you.
Thank you very much. Public comments will be taken on agenda items before an action is taken by the council. During the meeting, to provide verbal comments on the agenda item during this meeting, call 669-900-6833. Or log into Zoom and enter the meeting with the ID number listed above. This meeting will be conducted pursuant to the provisions of the Governor's Executive Order N2920 in order to minimize the spread of COVID-19 virus. The City Council is conducting this meeting by Zoom webinar and will be offering alternative options for the public participation. You are encouraged to watch the meeting live on Zoom or Facebook. Please follow the governor's orders and the CDC guidelines regarding preventative measures and do your part to flatten the curve and prevent further spread of COVID-19. Okay. Action items, approve the affidavit of the posting of the agenda. Can I please have a motion?
So moved.
So,
Thank you, Scott. Can I have a second, please?
I'll second it.
Thank you very much, John. 2B, approve a resolution of the City Council of the City of San Juan Bautista delegating administrative citation abilities to the private security company, adopting an illegal firework enforcement bail schedule and fireworks enforcement budget. Take it away, City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor Jordan, members of the City Council. We seem to have a fireworks conversation every year, and this is the first time I've actually had one before the 4th of July. So we're out ahead of the curve this year. That's good. I'm going to share with you about 10 slides or so that summarize my staff report and talk about our current policies as they exist. And the city attorney is here to help. I just texted the sheriff to see if he could join us, and I didn't have a reply. So I don't know if Sheriff Taylor will be able to join us tonight. But regardless, we have our private security represented at level 1, and we also have Rich Brown, our code enforcement officer, Charlie Bedoya from the fire department. So with that, I'll just delve right into it. We have about three guests in attendance right now. Pardon me. So There you go. That's the only color slide you're going to get. um, Enforcement strategy. That's what we're here to talk about tonight. Every year for more than 10 years, the city has passed a resolution allowing the sale of safe and sane fireworks, and they have their own definition. And I'll get to that in a second. Ordinance 2003-04 adopts the California Fire Code, adding Chapter 5-1 and specifically 5-1-165 regarding fireworks. And I think this is the basis we've been functioning on for quite some time. And I just kind of coincidentally Googled the Muni Code for fireworks and came up with a second law that we'll talk about. But this is generally what we do. We by resolution, we grant at least one nonprofit to sell fireworks in the windmill parking lot from June 30th to July 4th. And this governs how they should be sold and flammables and safety and packaging. And that's pretty much what this is about. The last provision, 7802, only factory packaged assortments listed in the California State Marshal shall be permitted for sale. Fireworks which spin on the ground, commonly known as spinners, ground bloom, or any similar fireworks as determined by the chief, are unlawful to possess, sell, or use, and shall not include any assortment sold when permitted by this code. So that's the law that we've been going by most of the time. And Trish helped me find this one. When I found this law, I just assumed that 1/9/12 was January 9th, 2012, but it was January 9th, 1912. And so we have this section 5-16 on our books in our first book of ordinances, Ordinance 27A. And by the way, it'll also be unlawful for any person to tie or hitch any horse or mule to a fire hydrant. Okay. I'd throw that in there. Sometimes we need a little humor. This is what the law says, and it doesn't. Of course, safe and sane fireworks didn't exist, but it's interesting to note that back in 1912 they were talking about bomb, rocket, Roman candle, or other fireworks within the city. So it's unlawful for any person to ignite, fire off, or cause to be exploded, or explode any firecracker, squid. I'm not sure what a squid is. Bomb, rocket, or other fireworks. So that's a law that we have in place, and you can see at the bottom here where it says 1/9/12. So that was back in January of 1912. Last year, following the 4th of July, the chief did give us a report on how many calls and how busy it was the night of the 4th, and really for that whole 2 or 3 week period, as I'm sure we all know. We hear them every night. And it was pretty chaotic, and the fire chief recommended banning fireworks. And that also reiterating that it's difficult to distinguish legal fireworks from safe and sane fireworks, assuming that if you could sell safe and sane fireworks, our residents would be allowed to ignite them. So that's where we were last July. Most recently, in the past few months, the county has been working on its fireworks codes because of the state of emergency that we're in at a level 1 drought. They have adopted a set of findings that is 2 pages long that talks about the driest we've seen in years, and that creates an extra super dangerous situation, and especially in the county's unincorporated areas. And in doing so, they presented Hollister's definition for fireworks. And you can see right here in the Hollister Code, other than safe and sane fireworks as defined in Health and Safety Code, no person shall possess, ignite, fire, or cause to be exploded any fireworks defined by the code within the city. So they actually use safe and sane in their definition. I wish the county would distinguish one city from another once in a while, but maybe that's our job tonight, to stand out. Pardon me. So in the county ordinance that was just adopted, a second reading last Tuesday, they talk about their own definition, anything defined as fireworks, again, referring to the Health and Safety Code, but not including auto flares when used for the purpose of warning other vehicles, emergency purposes. So that was an interesting provision. So there's a couple different definitions out there. And when the county adopted 2 ordinances, one extending enforcement to Bureau of Land Management properties in and around the county, but also this particular second ordinance regarding the use of fireworks in San Benito County, incorporating by reference and authorizing administrative penalties. And so they adopted a bail schedule and an ordinance that they then sent a flyer to all of our residents countywide, including those in San Juan Bautista, saying we're going to be enforcing the use of illegal fireworks this year. So I believe everyone got the PDF from me if you didn't see the flyer come in the mail to you. So that's where we were. And in review of the city's codes, the two laws, 5-16 and 5-1-165, they don't necessarily conflict, but they need to be interpreted in light of the fact that the city allows the sale of safe and sane fireworks. So that's something that we need to work on. The city attorney and I have been talking about that in the past 10 days. Code 516 should be amended to include this definition if that's the desire of the council. So if we want to go ahead and put a blessing on safe and sane fireworks, then we need to change the ordinance to do that. We need to, otherwise, we have to not allow the sale of safe and sane fireworks anymore. So enforcement is difficult. It would be more effective to enforce against properties where fireworks are being ignited. So rather than citing individuals, if the folks are lighting off fireworks in their backyard, for example, you could cite the address, and the property owner then would be responsible for the fact that these illegal fireworks, fire rockets, for example, were coming from the back of their property. Just be a much more practical way to do things, more effective enforcement tool, if that's what the city wants to do. So adding property owners that allow fireworks to be ignited to the code would be another change we might consider in the future. But for now, we have the sheriff and code enforcement and private security. This allows, and the fire chief can correct me, but they are committed to responding to fires and medical emergencies that night. It's one of their busiest nights all year for sure. So we're relying on enforcement to fall on the sheriff, code enforcement, and private security. And I put a budget together for you for 3 nights, Friday the 3rd, Friday the 2nd, Saturday the 3rd, and Sunday the 4th of July, technically Monday morning. It's proposed that the city code enforcement would work 5 to 12 each of these nights. The 3 security officers proposed would cost $675 per night, about $2,500 total. And we do have funds budgeted for additional services in the private security budget. It is proposed that the city rent 4 camera trailers and position them throughout the city around places like Abbey Park, where it's a popular place to light off fireworks. These would cost approximately $2,800. And then there's about $700 in the $6,000 budget for contingencies if things come up during the weekend. So that's the proposal in the resolution, is that we increase enforcement and then we delegate enforcement to private security. The city manager has the authority to do that. And I just wanted to make sure that the council was on board with me while I make that consideration. And the resolution states that that delegation would be granted to our private security firm with the approval of our risk management team. And the city is part of a joint powers insurance authority. And we have verified that the licensing and insurance requirements are adequate for this to happen. It's a lot more of an insurance policy than most of our contractors, as you can imagine. But this would delegate the authority to write administrative citations to our private security company, which would give us a lot more than 20 hours of code enforcement over the weekend. That would be a boost to our enforcement. So that's the proposal as it sits, and private security is here today, and Rich is here today. So code enforcement is here today to talk about that. So so this is what the resolution does. Pardon me. Announce enforcement that we're going to be enforcing code 5-16-100 as best we can. Adopt a resolution with a special bail schedule like the counties, $1,000 for the first offense, $2,500 for the second offense, $5,000 for the third and any offense thereafter. Approve the city manager's delegation for enforcement to the private security contractor that has been approved by risk management, Parsec. So, and that's it. But moving forward, there's some cleanup to do, and I just wanted to throw this out there. That the city council consider the merits and risks of safe and sane fireworks and amend the policy if deemed appropriate. That the city council include property owners in the enforcement. That the city follow the lead from the National and California League of Cities to keep pace with current trends and policies in the state. Make any changes or adjustments to a fireworks policy, before December 31st. That way, staff is pressured to meet this deadline. Then we have time to plan a promotional campaign in the community to increase awareness starting next spring. We got a late start, and we can blame it on COVID and what have you, but this year we want to tie ourselves to this deadline to make sure that we get ahead of the curve, so we're not here the Tuesday before 4th of July. So these are things that we will do in the future moving forward, lessons learned. I just registered for this California League of Cities City Managers Roundtable. And as you can see in this advertisement, that the use of illegal fireworks will continue after the 4th of July, and that it's a great threat to cities throughout the state. And so it's such a great threat that the California League of Cities is sponsoring a special workshop on it for city managers to see how cities can best be ready to handle the situation, which includes regulating firework usage and ordinances, patrolling and issuing fines, disposing of fireworks, and education. So these are all 4 things that we would focus on in the next 6 months. So come the turn of 2022, we'd be ready to respond. So happy to share slides and other information from this session, July 13th with you. And that's all the slides I have, Mayor and City Council. And I'm happy to answer questions, or we have our panel guests here that can help us answer questions as well.
Thank you very much. Questions, comments, or concerns from the council? Vice Mayor Flores. Please unmute yourself. There you go.
No questions, but I like what I hear. I think it's needed.
Thank you. Councilmember Friels?
Just a question on the enforcement on fireworks. We're talking illegal fireworks, is that correct?
That would be my recommendation. That way we avoid any confusion. And if it should go to the district attorney, and I believe the district attorney would support this because the county now has a similar law. So some disagree with me, but I'm hoping the district attorney's on board with us. They're going to favor more strongly support illegal fireworks than safe and sane fireworks.
Okay, yeah, because
So our city code says that all fireworks are illegal. So I don't think
Right.
there's going to be a distinguishment made on the night of. Everything is illegal. And it also says that, anybody under 18 that has fireworks without their parent present is also, guilty of a code violation. But I don't think these are going to go to the district attorney, Don. I think they're going to go through our own process.
It's
To
an
the
administrative site.
process.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Deb, for correcting.
Okay, yeah, I know what the code says about that, but here's the problem I see is that we've allowed a nonprofit to sell fireworks in the city limits of San Juan Bautista. I don't know how many people have bought fireworks, legal fireworks. Due to our bad on our end as a city, this happened, and it's no fault of anybody out there buying the legal fireworks. So I would hate for somebody who bought fireworks in San Juan to have to drive to Gilroy or Hollister or Watsonville to use their fireworks. And I'm talking legal ones, not the illegal ones. So what do we do about that? According to the code, it was 2012 or something like that we banned fireworks, but
1912.
okay, 1912. So that was illegal fireworks. That was explosive devices, rockets, missiles. And it pretty much, the state fire marshals also mirrors that almost word for word. So what do we do? We're kind of at a tough spot here. We've allowed fireworks to be sold in the city limits. Now we're going to tell people after they spend a couple $100 buying fireworks, you can't use them here. Is that what we're looking at? I'm kind of concerned.
And we came up against this last year, where again it was a couple days before, and we allowed safe and sane.
Yeah, it's
through this same process.
Yeah, and it's allowed in the state. They're legal by the state fire marshal's office. The state fire marshal approved ones. I definitely don't want to see. I don't want to be in that position where we're going to tell people they can't use the legal fireworks. And then another question on the trailers or the cameras. How can we protect? I know they're going to be cameras, and we'll see if anybody approaches them and whatnot. But is there any teeth we can put on these things if somebody damages these cameras or maliciously puts them out of service? What can we do to protect those things? Can we fold them under the city umbrella and then, I don't know, I should be just shooting in the dark here, but that, I mean, to me, it's a terrorist attack or a terroristic attack on city property. So, and there has been threats in the past on these cameras. So I'm just curious what we can do about protecting those cameras. And I sure hope folks get to use fireworks. I approve with the fee schedule, the fine schedule. I think it's a long time coming. So guess we have a few rocks to kick around. So thank you.
Thank you for that. Councilmember Freeman?
Yes, thank you. I'm very concerned about safety and the drought and the fireworks, as the county has aptly pointed out, is a real danger. But following up on Scott's commentary, and I was down at the windmill market at 1 o'clock today, and they were selling fireworks enthusiastically, let's say, or a lot of them. So I disagree. We do have a bit of a conflict between those rules of no fireworks or all fireworks prohibited, and then the state allows Safe and Sane, and Hollister allows Safe and Sane, and we allow Safe and Sane to be sold. It just does not add up correctly. I think we need to get our process together and back into focus. I see Charlie's waving. I know he probably disagrees with the state. No, but anyway, I'll yeah, go ahead, Charlie.
I just have a comment on that. I believe it was saying if permitted, and I think since we're allowing it to be permitted for Safe and Sane through the council process, that it gives us that little leeway where we can allow Safe and Sanes at this time. Because we kind of looked at it with my staff too, and they said, I believe they said, it says if permitted, and technically it's permitted if the council approves it and brings it to council and lets it go in. So like I said, I'm all for enforcing the illegals, but not the Safe and Sanes also. And support the local, because you guys really need some football uniforms over there. I went and I bought mine over there today. They really need uniforms, and I talked with those guys, so we got to help our football team over there too. I told them if there's anything I could do, but yeah, we're not going to go and enforce Safe and Sane regardless. If it's just something in the future that we want to look forward to, or we want to look towards banning them altogether, we could do that right now. But since we're playing catch up before, I think we have that little leeway in there that says as permitted, and taking it to the council. I'm interpreting that as this is taken to the council and is permitted, even though we don't have the sheet, but because it was approved. So that gives us the go ahead for that. As to the illegal ones, those are always illegal.
So I'm just saying, for my part, if the council wants to go in the other direction, you're allowing sales, but it doesn't say anywhere that you're allowing them to be lit. There's a blanket prohibition on them being lit in the city. And if you really don't want anything lit because you feel it's a fire problem. And then the other thing I would say is just, how I would, ask JT, if we delegate authority to him, is he going to be able to go out there and recognize which is sane and safe and which is illegal? I mean, that's really the telling thing if you're making this decision. I mean, can you enforce it?
Well, sorry, I hate to interrupt on this, but I can go over there and I could give them a training on this too, because it's anything that lifts up over the ground at least 15 feet, the mortars that go boom. So I think they know which ones are illegal and which ones are illegal. And they do have the state fire marshal. If you see it out of a mortar or it goes really loud, that's illegal. And that's what we're worried about. Also, when they confiscate it, they should confiscate everything that's associated with it, like the mortar tubes, because as soon as you steal the mortar tubes from them or take them from them, they can't shoot off the rest and say, give me the rest of the stuff. And they usually give it to you and then bring it to station one, and I'll package it up there. And then I call the state fire marshal and they come and pick it up and deliver it. So It's not that hard to do that. If they need a training on it, I have examples of it at Station 1. I could let them know and show them if they need a training with it. I've been going out and enforcing for since Friday. I'm doing it tonight after this over here and in the county, but I could cruise over there if they're doing it tonight or later on in the week, or talk to them about it and try to do it over there.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, and that is helpful. I still think we're, as Deb so aptly pointed out, we're still in a position where fireworks are prohibited, but it's not. The community thinks in terms of what has happened before, i.e. history, and we have a long history of at least back into 2002. That's how long I've lived here. Of setting off fireworks and of them being legal to do so. And I'm talking about safe and sane fireworks. I'm not talking about mortars. I'm worried about safety. I'm worried about fire. We live in an old town. If God forbid something like that happens, it would be really bad. I have a dog and he gets upset by fireworks. I have to literally hold his hand or paw. And so I'm not a big fan of fireworks, but at the same time, I think we may get a lot of blowback from our community. I think we need to enforce the regulations now that we have, like we've been doing. No, as Scott so aptly put, no illegal fireworks, no mortars, nothing past 15 feet, no loud bangs. And I think that'll give enough, our code enforcement people, I think that'll give them enough to do, just chasing down those bad guys. Or not bad guys, but those types of fireworks. So, and then I think we as a council need to take the time and do this at regular meetings with 1 and 2 readings and harmonize our regulations and come up with new ones if needed and do it correctly. Thank you.
Thank you. So a couple of things. Our ordinance currently says no fireworks at all. So what we are here to do tonight is either say, okay, yes, no fireworks at all, safe and sane, or otherwise, or illegals. So like last year, we can approve safe and sane if we so choose. But our ordinance already says nothing, zero, zilch, nada. So Chief, correct me if I'm wrong. You said, yes, you're okay with safe and sane because the county and the state also say yes to safe and sane?
Yeah, if I
Okay.
read the ordinance correctly, it says unless permitted by local ordinance.
Right, right.
Council prior to that, to allow the sales of it, I say that permits it. And we could look, like I said, we could look forward to the future of banning it if that was the council's wishes. I mean, that obviously does help out, but
well, and currently, again, as Deb has pointed out, no fireworks are allowed in the city at all, according to our ordinance. But getting back to something else that both John and the chief alluded to, correct me if I'm wrong, JT from Level 1. Last year, you folks did confiscate several illegals from several different properties. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Thank you very much. So yeah, a little more training doesn't hurt, but yes, this is something that they have done before and are used to. The county has adopted a fee schedule, a fines schedule of 1,000, 2,500, and 5,000. We could start with 2,500. Could we not? Could we make ours more restrictive? We can't make anything less restrictive, but can we make it more restrictive?
Yes.
Yes, Deb?
Yes, you can set any number you want there.
Okay.
What you're doing today.
Right. Okay. Okay. So again, we have an ordinance already on the books. It is I just lost it, 516-100, that says absolutely no fireworks regardless of whether they are safe and sane or not. Allowing the high school to sell them, every city is allowing folks to sell. It is not illegal to sell, it is not illegal to purchase, it's just illegal to light them off once you do purchase them. So
Makes no sense
we
at
have,
all.
we have to decide whether or not we are going to allow safe and sane, because none are allowed.
Madam Mayor, if I could,
Go ahead.
we've adopted the California Fire Code, and in the California Fire Code, there is a section in there that gives permission for the fire chief, the assistant fire chief, and the fire marshal to approve the use of safe and sane fireworks within your jurisdiction.
Correct.
So we're conflicting. We have
We're still
the state
conflicted.
code and the fire code, so we're kind of conflicting.
No, technically we're not, because we have written an ordinance. We have an ordinance on the books that says we will not allow the use of any fireworks. And just as our city attorney said a moment ago, we can make our ordinances stricter than what the state, county, and federal government so chooses to do, which we have done on several occasions.
I understand that.
So
And I don't remember, what I think is funny, I don't remember fireworks ever being banned in town, but obviously it happened 100 years ago, so,
Not that old.
yeah, I'm only half of that.
So, and last year we did, by council vote, allow safe and sane. So we can, by council vote, do that again this year. So if I may go to, sorry, I just lost everybody who was on, oops. Comment from level 1 private security. If you have anything you want to add. If not, that's totally fine. Sorry.
No,
go
no.
ahead.
It's fine. Just to recap of what you were talking about, I think that it was just so blatant with the mortar rounds that they were firing off. They were doing it in the middle of the street, and while the officers were coming down the road, they'd be doing it right in front of them. And I think that's what we need to stop. And not only that, but, you know, at one point during patrolling out there, it almost sounded like a war zone. And I felt for, you know, the animals and the people out there, especially when they're going, can't you do anything? And we did contact local authorities. But I think that the units that were working that night, they did recover a lot of shells. They did recover some of them were doing it so blatantly that they were doing it right in front of the officers. They were going down the streets. I think that our step for this position is that we're going to photograph. You know, we are equipped with the video cameras in the vehicles, as well as the body cams. And then all of us are, you know, everybody's equipped with a cell phone these days. And I think that's our next step. And then documentation. And we did, if Rich Brown could step up here for a minute when I'm through, we reported it and we gave everything to Rich so he could give that to the fire department. And we were in constant contact with them throughout the night, even coming in on my own time to assist them because of, you know, like Councilmember Friel said, in regards to the damage done to the camera and the threats. So our position is going to be good documentation, turning it into the city, making sure that we're doing our due diligence, and also following up with local law enforcement and Charlie's guys to make sure everything's done correctly.
Thank you. Our code enforcement officer, Rich Brown, do you have
Yes.
anything you want to add, recommendations or otherwise?
From a code enforcement standpoint, I think we're going to be more effective this year if we get the 4 camera towers. They'll be located in areas that have traditionally been a problem. As far as the potential for vandalism or damage to the cameras themselves are kind of panoramic. So if people want to choose to vandalize or attempt to vandalize, it will be documented on video.
So they're self-documenting and they're insured, the city has insurance for them. The company that we would rent them from has insurance for them. So if there were damage, everybody would eventually be protected. If as long as the recording is captured somehow.
Yeah, and if the camera were in fact damaged to the extent it wasn't utilized, I'm sure the company could provide a replacement in a very short turnaround.
Okay, thank you very much for that. I'd like to now open it up to public for comment. Again, if you have a question or would like to voice your opinion, you can call in at 669-900-6833 and press *9. If you are on the Zoom call, I believe you can raise your hand and our city clerk will bring you in and I will announce you. Trish, do we have
Chris
any-
Martorana.
Okay. You'll have to pull him into the meeting. There you are. Welcome, Chris.
How are you guys?
Hi, doing very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right. My wife wanted to speak, if that's all right. I'd like to turn it over to her first.
If
and
it's
then
okay
I'll
if the
take-
woman speaks, is that all right?
Go ahead, Angie, go ahead.
I want to show you, this is my dog, Gelato.
We have no video, sorry.
Oh, you don't see him. Okay, so what I wanted to tell you is he sleeps on my head every time the boom goes off. Now, I understand the 4th of July. It's been going on for hundreds of years. And I know I need to turn music on really loud and stay inside my house. But a month before and a month after, there should be no fireworks. It's not like we have Christmas every day. We don't have Valentine's every day. The 4th of July is on the 4th of July. Can't we make it illegal for fireworks before the 4th of July and after the 4th of July? Why does it have to continue for a whole month? Do you have anything to say, Chris?
Thank
Yeah,
you,
I'd
Chris.
I've got a couple of things. So I didn't realize that there was an ordinance that made all fireworks illegal. And in reviewing your agenda, there is nothing on your agenda about making an exception. That's not part of this special meeting agenda. So I don't think procedurally that you can do that tonight. All that you have on the agenda is the expansion of the enforcement capabilities, which I am wholeheartedly in favor of and would strongly recommend that that the level 1 guys are given better direct access to law enforcement communication wise so that they can coordinate because there's a great deal of drinking and carousing that goes on along with the fireworks, and it was a very dangerous situation. As you know, I was working as a level 1 security officer last 4th of July. So it was a pretty awful night, I gotta say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have any other public comment?
I don't see any other hands raised.
Thank you very much. Okay, procedurally, as was brought up by our last caller, we cannot, or can we, choose to do safe and sane, city attorney?
So I think the position you're in right now is you have what some people perceive as a conflict in the language of the code, and what other people perceive as just a conflict in the way the city has enforced this in past years. So, I think you guys can give an opinion to the city manager as to whether you want code enforcement to go after sane and safe fireworks or not. And the city manager directs the code enforcement officer. And So you're not really making a decision, you're just giving direction, personal direction to the city manager as to how he should act and enforce this through code enforcement and through level 1.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. Are there any further comments from the council, Vice Mayor Flores?
No comments, thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Friels?
Just that I'd like to agree with what Deb said, and we give guidance to the city manager to allow Safe and Sane this year, and then we'll hash it out after this. No illegal stuff.
No.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Freeman?
Yes, thank you. I would, first of all, I'd like to thank Chris and Angie, and I completely agree with them. The setting off of the fireworks 2 or 3 weeks ahead of time and a month afterwards is, it really needs to stop. And so we need to give Don the direction to tell level 1 and code enforcement to really crack down on these guys before and after. I think, as Deb said, there still is, I still believe there's a conflict, you know, and as much as I really hate to say this, I think we probably need to allow Safe and Sane for just the 4th of July, just Sunday, not Friday, Saturday, not Tuesday, Wednesday, none of this stuff. And then we come back next month and the following month and we harmonize our laws, we reconcile them together, we make them make sense, and we make them consistent, and we make them strong and enforceable and correct. Thank you.
Thank you. I did speak to the sheriff and some of his deputies. They have been working with our code enforcer and level 1 private security over the past couple of weeks. And maybe level 1 can speak to this better than I, because it was a conversation I had with the sheriff's department and he's not available. But y'all have been working very closely with them over the past couple of weeks, trying to go after folks who are exploding ordinances or mortars, whatever they're called. Is that correct? So it's not something that we choose to do the day before or the day of. This is something that you all have been working on. And again, we have an ordinance on the books that says you can't have any. So we could be enforcing them all year round. On New Year's Day, on New Year's Eve, on Labor Day or Veterans Day, whenever they go off, because it's a Tuesday, we have the ability to call the sheriff's department and say, hey, we have this going on. Please come over to San Juan and take care of this situation if you can find somebody who is doing it. Am I correct in saying that? Again, speaking from a conversation I had with the sheriff's department. Anybody?
If I could speak, you're absolutely correct. Level 1 private security has been working with the sheriff's department. We've been documenting a lot of stuff going on at nighttime with the fireworks, and we're reporting it to them as well as code enforcement and the city manager.
Thank you very much. And again, we appreciate you as a city for following our ordinances that we have on the books.
Can I say, Mayor?
Go ahead.
I just want to say thank you to Don, because I think it, you know, in the last couple of weeks, he's really put down a good program here. And I think it's going to help out tremendously, as well with Rich and the sheriff's department. But, you know, again, you know, it's really hard for one guy in a uniform and in a squad car to patrol the whole city when things are going back and forth. And I think that, Sergeant Urena has been absolutely awesome to assist us. And I want to say thank you from the bottom of our heart, Don, for helping us out here. It's really coming together, and I'm very thankful. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Giving all of y'all some teeth for these things. At this point then, if there are no other comments from council or staff or our guests or attendees, I will entertain a motion.
I'll go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
I'm
Caesar.
sorry. I have
No,
a
go ahead.
question.
Go ahead. Sorry, Vice Mayor.
We're approving a resolution to delegate administrative citation ability to private security company and adopt an illegal fireworks enforcement bail schedule or fireworks enforcement budget. Is that correct?
Correct.
That's what the motion's for?
Yes.
If it is, then I make a motion to approve the resolution.
Can I have a second?
Are we able to, when do we as a council give the city manager guidance on the use of legal fireworks and being able to allow it this year?
That's what the resolution is gonna say, I guess. Yeah.
Well, do we add it to the resolution or is this something that we just do as a,
We can charge him after the resolution is made or is voted on?
Well, we have discussion. We can discuss it there before we actually approve it.
I'd say you discuss it now because it's not part of the resolution. As Chris Moderano pointed out, you can't make a legislative decision tonight on that. What you're doing is just basically expressing your viewpoint on it. And I think the city manager already has your input on that.
Thank
Okay.
you.
that's, yeah, good, thank you. I'll go ahead and second the motion then. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have a roll call, please?
Yes. Councilmember Edge is absent. Councilmember Flores,
Aye, yes.
Councilmember Friels,
Yes,
Councilmember Freeman,
Yes.
Mayor Jordan.
Yes.
The motion as stated by the maker passes 4001 with one absence. And that's resolution number 35.
Thank you very much. Comments from city council members? Vice Mayor Flores.
Yeah, I really agree with making sure that the safe and sane are treated as a separate animal. And yeah, the illegals got to go. I mean, I sit here in my backyard going out to another town. My back, look over all the rooftops in San Juan.
I'm sorry, I missed the first part. Yes, on safe and sane?
Yes, on safe and sane.
Okay, thank
No
you.
on
Right. Council member Friels?
yeah, and if I could just, for Angie, the fireworks that blow up and go off all, most of the year those are illegal, and we do need, you're right, we do need to enforce them. It's just, I think it's very difficult for our sheriff's department, but now with some teeth behind it, I think it's going to be much easier. Also, everybody have a great and safe 4th of July weekend. Well, be safe. Don't eat too much hot dogs. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Freeman.
I just follow up with what Scott said. I pretty much agree. I also agree with Caesar. We need to, I think we need to have some space for the safe and sane. And and if we want to outlaw it completely, we need to have a full discussion at a regular meeting about that issue. Otherwise, I do think that we will receive some blowback if starting Friday night, we start citing everyone with a safe and sane firework. $1,000 is a lot of money. We're not a rich community. Many of the people are setting off fireworks do not have an extra $1,000 around. And I only see 18 participants, and I think 6 of those are outside of the government. And so, only 6 people know about it. Let's face it. And I see that Noe's attending, and he'll write an article tomorrow, and maybe some more people know about it. But still, we don't have a lot of. The city doesn't have the knowledge yet. The people, the population doesn't have the knowledge, and so I worry about that. Thank you.
Deb, ignorance is not does not justify or constitute not abiding by the law. Is that correct?
That's correct. But, I think a lot of people probably think they fall under the county ordinance that received that notice, but it is part of, this process is to, publicize it well so that people are worried about that number, having to pay that fine.
Right. And it was agendized, and I appreciate everybody who does show up to these meetings. And everybody is afforded the opportunity to attend these committee meetings. So thank you all for attending. I'm not calling the meeting yet. Thank you all for attending and your participation. So spread the word for those who are not in attendance that there are fines for illegal fireworks, and by December 31st, we'll have a conversation about whether to allow safe and sane sales within the city. There does not have to be any conversation about whether or not fireworks, safe and sane or otherwise, are allowed, because again, we have an ordinance that says no fireworks whatsoever are allowed in the city of San Juan Bautista. City manager, any questions, comments, concerns, final notes?
That's all. Did you want to say something?
What?
No, you're okay. No, I got the direction I was looking for. I really appreciate the council's serious thought on this matter. Our employees, sticking their necks out amongst the firework crowd is not a pleasure by any means. So it's a really hard job to do, and I want to just thank Level 1 and code enforcement and our fire department for being there for us. I did get a text from the sheriff, and they'll be there for us as well. So it's not a favorite job of city employees. So I just want to appreciate everyone's dedication and sticking up for us. So thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to thank the council on that as well. Having the amount of staff that we're going to have in the city watching out for each other is huge. Alcohol and fireworks don't mix, and folks can get a little intense. So I'm thankful for the fire department, for the sheriff's department, for Level 1, and for our own code enforcement, that they're all going to be working with each other. City attorney, any final comments?
None.
Awesome. I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Thank you very much. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Freeman, for seconding. May I please have a roll call?
Yes, Councilmember Flores,
Aye.
Councilmember Friels,
Yes.
Councilmember Freeman,
Yes.
Mayor Jordan.
Yes.
All members of the council being present, the motion as stated by the maker passes 4001.
Thank you all very much. Be safe,
Thank you.
be smart, have fun. Scott, hydrate.
Yeah. I'm watching a thunder cell come over right now. We're supposed to get lightning later, so this might be entertaining. So
Good luck. Good luck with that.
Very cool.
All
right.
right. Have a good day.
Have fun, everybody. Thank you all for attending.
Bye.
Night.
Night.